you feel that your kids are growing up so fast and you don't have time to be the parent you dreamed of being? Are you sick of the heartache you feel every time you have to leave them to go earn a living? Does debt and money stress keep you from being totally present with your family? Welcome to Daily Paid Blessings, the Parenting with a Passive Income podcast. We are Melanie and Lou, small town parents with a now empty nest, and we realized too late how fast our kids grew up and how little time we actually had with them. On this podcast, we are going to show you how to buy back your time with passive daily pay so that you can strengthen the family foundation and help your kids and your grandkids become powerful change agents. If you are ready to ditch the 9-to-5 grind, make more memories, and parent with a purpose, grab your picnic lunch and a blanket and let's dig in. Oh, and by the way, if you enjoyed this podcast, please share it with other parents who also want to know how to parent on purpose. Hey friend, welcome back. We are digging into Daily Paid Blessings. This is our brand new podcast. And I have my husband Lou here, and we want to share our story with you because we have grown children. Like our children are all young adults. They've all living on their own, building a life for themselves, all of that stuff. And as we look back now, we as empty nesters, we look back and we think, man, we probably lost a lot of valuable time with our kids because once they move out, you don't get the same kind of time with them. Everybody's busy, right? It's hard. And so that's our passion with this podcast, is to truly help you who may be a few years ahead of us, where your kids may still be at home. And we want to share the insights and things that we've learned and how now you could benefit from the things that we've learned and the things that we're doing now so that you could have a different experience with your kids and not maybe feel like you are regretting all the time that you're working and making a living, which of course we have to do, but we want to show you how to do both. So with no further ado, Lou, can you tell us what was your experience, as a parent, working, just kind of fill us in on what you were thinking and how things went and what you would have changed?
Well, as a father and a parent, your number one goal is to provide for your family. And the stresses of life often pull you away from your family the way you don't want it to. And there's always struggling to make enough money at the end of the month to pay the bills and put food on the table. And some things suffer. So you don't have the quality time with your spouse and your kids that many families choose to or want to improve, right? So I know with my son, at the end of the day, I didn't have the attention span or the energy a lot of times to play with him the way I wanted to, or you look back and say I could have done better, right? Absolutely.
I totally understand you. And I had a different experience. So a little bit of a backup. Lou and I have blended our families together after our kids were already, older teenagers. And so we weren't together when our kids were growing up. And so my experience was a little bit different. I was a stay-at-home mom. And when my first marriage ended, I wanted to continue to be a stay-at-home mom because I wanted to be with my kids all the time. I wanted to be at every field trip. I wanted to be there all the time when they got home from school. I wanted to do it all. I wanted to homeschool. I wanted to do it all. And so I actually sacrificed in a different way. So as a single mom, I sacrificed money for time. So I chose to have less money so that I could be with my kids. But with that comes problems too, because now I have the time, but we don't have the money to do anything. We can't go do the fun things a lot of times, we can't, and there was lots of times that I never told my kids that I didn't have the money in the bank account because I didn't want them to carry that stress. I just was like, no, we're not doing that today. We don't have time for that, or we don't need to do that. But so both situations have their downfalls, both either working too much and not like giving the best part of your day to build someone else's business and their paycheck, or you sacrifice that and you don't have the money, to go and do the things. And so there is hardship both ways. Would you agree, honey?
Yes, for sure.
And so talk to us just briefly, what's recently happened? Because, wait, before we go there. So we have, when you sacrifice, either way, when you either work lots to have the money or you don't work as much and don't have the money, you have to pay something somewhere, right? And even though Lou and I we both sacrificed something. When we look back now, we realize that our financial picture hadn't really changed that much. Like we're still living paycheck to paycheck. We're still doing the thing and trying to live life, which is what we hear so often from our friends with little kids. And it's the same thing. I just like, how do we do it all? How do we raise our kids the way that we want and still have money to do stuff? And so, Luke, can you quickly tell us what happened? What did you just get what did you just learn about your job, about your career?
Well, it wasn't pleasant, to say the least. And I got some serious news from my chiropractor after repeated visits to see him concerning my lower back and my upper back. The x-ray showed that I had no cartilage between my lower discs in my back. It was bone on bone, and my mid-back I had compressed discs as well as some scoliosis of the spine. So all the years of carpentry has taken its toll on me.
Yes.
Not just my back, but my knees and hands and
absolutely
shoulders.
So now we've learned, obviously, that he cannot continue in that line of work. And so for us, it was like, we want to be really present. If we ever get blessed with grandchildren, we want to be able to be there. We want to be present with them. We want to be available. We want to be able to do the things, travel with the kids or spend have the time to be with our grandchildren or whatever the case may be. But that wasn't going to work with Lou's carpentry work. And so now that that's over, it was kind of like, okay, well, that door closed. So what do we do now? Where do we go from here? And that's when we discovered how to have a passive daily pay income that we're going to actually buy time back. That's what we're doing now. And so that's what we want to teach you, how to have passive income, how to grow it, how to, understand all the steps so that you too can have passive income, which means then what? That you get more time to be with your family. You
regain control of your time.
Absolutely. Totally regain control of your time and your bank account. Because if you have time and you have money, just think about what life's going to look like, right? Life would look a lot different than it does right now. And so, stick with us. This is just the very first episode, but we will be diving into, actual specific steps and certain things we've learned about parenting as well, right? So that you can have that well balanced, because it is our passion to help young parents, especially, to be able to, or even grandparents, to be able to raise their kids in such a way that those kids can make a difference in the world. Those kids can actually, go out and do something, make a big impact, as a family or as individuals. Like, that is our passion now, is to just see that kind of stuff happen. And so we have lots of fun things planned, and we will definitely look forward to seeing you on the next episode. We will be every week. We will have a new episode that goes out, and there'll just be lots of tips and things that you can implement into your day and figure out how to change your life picture and the lives of your kids. Do you have any final words, honey?
No, you've summed it up well. Thank you.
All right. Take care and God bless.
Thank you.
Have you been blessed by this episode? Has it touched you or inspired you or taught you something? If so, would you take 30 seconds, and write a written review? Not only does it warm our heart to hear from you, but it also lets us know that we're giving you what you need. And it also helps other people find the podcast that may need this kind of information as well. And remember, beloved, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. Take care, my friend, and God bless.